Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Hi, folks. Welcome back. This is a very fascinating video from a congressional hearing on cybersecurity with the Assistant Secretary for Cyber for the FBI and Matt Gaetz. And granted, Matt Gaetz sometimes a big pain in the ass, but this is very interesting what takes place. So let's take a listen, and maybe I'll put my 2 cents in as we go along. But this is very fascinating. Let's listen.
So where is it? The laptop.
Sir, I'm not here to talk about the laptop. I'm here to talk about the FBI cyber program.
You are the Assistant Director of FBI Cyber. I want to know where Hunter Biden's laptop is. Where is it?
Sir, I don't know that answer.
That is astonishing to me. Has FBI Cyber assessed whether or not Hunter Biden's laptop could be a point of vulnerability, allowing America's enemies to hurt our country?
Sir, the FBI cyber program is based off of what's codified in Title 18, Title 18, Section 1030, a code which talks about computer intrusions, right, using nefarious intent network.
Well, you've talked about passwords here. I mean, Hunter Biden's password on his laptop was Hunter02. He drops it off at a repair store. I'm holding the receipt from Max Computer Repair, where in December 2019, they turned over this laptop to the FBI. And what now you're telling me right here is that as the Assistant Director of FBI Cyber, you don't know where this is after it was turned over to you 3 years ago.
Yes, sir, that's an accurate statement.
Yes, sir, that's an accurate statement. I don't know. Now, do I feel bad for this FBI guy? Yeah, in a way. He could be not one of the, what I'll call the deep state rogues that want to take over the government and brag about who they screwed over. So Trump lost. Like the one deep state FBI guy did after he retired. Bragged about it. That they get to decide who the president of the United States and other elected officials are. And that's very problematic. Is this guy one of them? Probably not. But that's not the point. He was asked a direct question. Now, you know, the exact location, what room number and all that. He knows where it is. He knows where it is. I'm not going to answer that. That means he knows where it is. He's not going to say, I don't know, because he's in a bad spot. You have the Democrats running everything. You have Joe Biden as president. And this is his son's laptop. Now this, can you imagine when this first broke, the Biden administration and others were going, Hunter, what the F, dude? You left your laptop with all this stuff on it and never picked it up? Now it becomes the property of the person you left it to by law in your home state of Delaware? Wasn't stolen? That the FBI said that it was stolen, like the diary, Ashley Biden's diary. It wasn't stolen. Nobody's proved any of that. It was left there. And then Facebook and Twitter and all the social media monsters and mainstream media idiots. Do you know that 40% of people polled after the 2020 election that voted for Biden did not know about the Hunter Biden laptop and any of its contents? 40%. That's incredible. Then Jack Dorsey turns around and says, well, you know, us stifling that was a mistake. You know, F you. You knew exactly what you were doing. Now, is this guy irritated? Yeah. But you know what, though? Tough crap. Let's listen on.
How are Americans supposed to trust that you can protect us from the next colonial pipeline if it seems that you can't locate a laptop that was given to you 3 years ago from the first family, potentially creating vulnerabilities for our country?
Sir, it's not in the purview of my investigative responsibilities.
But that is shocking that you wouldn't, as the Assistant Director of Cyber, know whether or not there are international business deals, kickbacks, shakedowns that are on this laptop that would make the first family suspect to some sort of compromise. Mr. Assistant Director, have you assessed whether or not the first family is compromised as a result of the Hunter Biden laptop?
Sir, as a representative of the FBI cyber program, it is not in the realm of my responsibilities to deal with the questions that you're asking me.
Has anyone at FBI Cyber been asked to make assessments whether or not the laptop creates a point of vulnerability?
You know, Matt Gaetz is a tough person to like, but he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Sure, they made assessments on it, and they've gone over it with a fine-tooth comb, and I'm sure they've all said privately, holy crap. Holy crap. This all gets out. There's going to be hell to pay. What are we going to do? How do we cover it up? How do we make it so it's just a national security matter? Well, they're defending people that are indefensible, and that's their problem. Let's listen on.
Sir, we have multiple lines of investigative responsibility in the FBI. They're all available in public source.
Well, I would think you'd know this one. I mean, I would think that if the president's son, who does international business deals, referencing the now president with the Chinese, with Ukrainians, I mean, have you assessed whether or not the Hunter Biden laptop gives Russia the ability to harm our country?
Sir, again, we can do this back and forth for the next couple of minutes. I don't have any information about the Hunter Biden laptop or the
But
investigation.
should you? I mean, you're the assistant director of FBI Cyber.
By the block and line chart, no, sir, I should not.
Who should we put in that chair to ask questions about this laptop that FBI has had for 3 years?
Sir, I'm not in a position to make a recommendation who should say.
So you don't have it, you don't know who has it, you don't know where it is, you're the assistant director. You know, earlier you talked about whether or not you were the Grant Hill or the Christian Laettner. It sounds like you're the Chris Webber trying to call a timeout when you don't have one. So I mean, who is it? Do you even know who has it? Do you know who we should put in that chair to ask these questions to?
No, sir, I don't know who has it.
Well, could you find out and tell us? You're going to have to give us briefings, thanks to Mr. Liu and Mr. Massey's question about whether or not the FBI was taking a $5 million test drive on the Pegasus system that was being used to target people in politics, people in government, people in the media, people in American life. So will you commit to give us a briefing as the assistant director of FBI Cyber as to where the laptop is, whether or not it's a point of vulnerability, whether or not the American people should wonder whether or not the first family is compromised?
Sir, I'd be happy to take your request back to our office.
Gosh, I mean, will you advocate for that briefing? As in, you will?
I will be happy to take your request back to FBI headquarters.
I'll be happy to take your request back to FBI headquarters, which will go in what they call the circular file, a.k.a. the garbage can. They don't want this getting out. They know. That's why Project Veritas, I think, was raided. They have moles in the FBI and the intelligence services, and they've pulled so much illegal crap that they're afraid this stuff's going to leak out. They're afraid. And I'm not saying it's even a large percent of the FBI and the intelligence service. Maybe only 10, 15, 20%. The deep state. Who knows? Who knows? Even Chuck Schumer said when President Trump was chastising the intelligence service, said right on the Senate floor, you can look it up here on YouTube and other places. You go after the intelligence services of the United States, they can screw you over every which way but Sunday. This came from the ranking Democrat, majority leader of the Senate, on open floor, open mic. For the record, can you imagine what he thinks outside the record? The deep state is holding elected officials hostage. I don't care if it's a D or an R in front of their name. This is serious. These guys are panicking. Now, whether this guy's involved, probably not, because it's a small percent. But he knows people that are. And he knows there's a lot of unrefrigerated fish going on here. And it's going to make the FBI and a whole bunch of agencies look really, really bad. he doesn't want to answer any of that. But let's continue on. The end of it is kind of interesting.
Well, do you believe that that is a briefing that the Congress is worthy of having, I guess?
Sir, I'm not going to answer that question. Right? I'm here to talk. The
Is that
invitation.
time?
I'm not going to answer that question. I'm not here to answer that question. I'm here to answer other questions. So I get to pick and choose what questions I answer. I feel bad for the guy, but, you know, he's got to be straight. Talk straight.
Sir, the invitation says oversight of the FBI's cyber division. It does not say anything.
Well, right, but I mean, this is a cyber asset. This is a
not a
point of
cyber
vulnerability. If there are passwords, if there are business deals, if there are references to things that could harm our country, like, you can't even sit here right now and say that you know that there's not a point of vulnerability. Maybe there are other crimes, maybe there are tax issues or whatever, but as it relates to our, I mean, is the first family sufficient cyber infrastructure to protect? You don't even know if they're compromised. Tell you what, Mr. Chairman, I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record of this committee the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop.
Now, there's a thumb drive with the contents of the Hunter Biden laptop. God knows how many other copies there are, and I'm sure they're all over the place. That's not the only one, of course. They wouldn't turn it in. And it's funny how Jerry Nadler, that piece of garbage, handles this. I'm not really sure if they allowed it in the end or not, but listen to them scramble. Watch them squirm because they know it's coming.
Which I'm in possession of.
I'm not.
You want what? You want what? And watch them squirming.
There's no objection to that.
Oh my God, what do we do?
I can't say no objection.
I've never had.
I will
such a-
object pending further investigation.
And what's the basis of that objection?
It's a unanimous consent request, and I object pending.
Very well, I have a subsequent question. Mr. Chairman, I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record the receipt.
It may very well be
From the Mac
entered-
shop.
It may very well be entered into the record after we look at it further.
Very well, Mr. Chairman, I have a
Ms.
subsequent
Demings is
unanimous
not
consent.
recognized. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman, I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record the receipt from the Department of
Mr.
Justice
Chairman, this is
to
Ms.
the
Demings.
Mac shop.
Now, here's the lady. Obviously, she's on Zoom or whatever for this meeting, and she knows what's going on because she can listen to every word. So what does she do? She interrupts another Democrat. Let's just rail this even more and cut off these people. Cut off the ones that want to put Hunter Biden's laptop information. Because I believe once it's put into the record, for a request should be able to get out the information, which means they'll have to go through this entire file for his laptop line by line and take out what they don't want the public to know. That's going to take a long time. God knows what's in there, and God knows what kind of pictures are in there. So she interrupts, knowing damn well it's not her. She was next probably in line to talk. So she just jumped in just to derail it even more. These people suck so bad.
Am I next, or am I next?
Without objection.
So where is?
Without objection. Now, I think he's allowing the laptop, thumb drive, and the receipt from the computer place to be in there. But here's the thing. They see. They're the dinosaurs looking up at the sky, and they can see the asteroid coming. And I'm afraid what they're going to do. Like any other large, powerful, wounded animal, they're going to lash out. God knows what they're capable of. And the midterms are coming up. Boy, I'll tell you, for us political junkies, it's going to be absolute riot. Oh, gosh. This is like bad reality TV. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.